Hello everyone, Miklos Vespremi here, coming to you from Dubai, where I will be doing most of my videos going forward. So this summer I spent some time on a boat, and on the last day before I left, the group I was there with had to clean up. So the obvious thing to do was to put on some good music to get us all energized. And the co-captain now asked if someone was willing to take care of that, and I happily obliged. But I sensed a bit of distrust in the captain. I saw in her eyes that she wasn't quite sure about that, so I cut straight to the point and told her, "You don't trust me, do you?" "No, but I'll give you one chance to try," she replied. So what on earth just happened? What on earth could have been wrong with having a classically trained pianist and composer who then ventured out into Chinese music and film music, who was a professional ballet and opera accompanist, who during his PhD in music theory taught EDM composition to Yale undergrads, wrote essays about pop music, and now is teaching himself some jazz? Pick the music for the cleanup. I was by far the most eclectically experienced music authority on board. But you know what was wrong? None of that mattered. What mattered is that 2 days before, I had picked some upbeat pop music while we were sailing when the captain, the co-captain, wanted a dramatic playlist building on Pirates of the Caribbean. And 1 day before, I had picked some chill techno vibes during a game night instead of bar jazz. None of the expertise I fancied myself to have mattered if I didn't match the music to the mood of the person in charge. Now, in this case, it's of course ridiculous that she felt the need to control the music that was being played. What I think was happening is related to the so-called halo effect. So, you know when someone is really good at one thing, people readily assume that that person is good at something else as well? Like, when someone is very charismatic, you assume that they're also great at delivering whatever they're promising. So, what I think was happening here is that since this co-captain was so competent and was using her rightful power to ensure the safety of everyone on board, she just assumed that she should be using her power unchecked with all other aspects that are less security relevant on board, assuming that she should have power in irrelevant situations as well. So I'm not sure what the psychological term for this is, but it could have a name, for example, power halo. So power halo aside, I think that this learning is highly relevant because people that control the situation often control the wallet or your job prospects as well. In other contexts, it might be an audience that is ready to walk out of the hall, that does not care about your virtuosity if they're not in the mood for exactly that. It reminds me of a famous quote by business professor Peter Drucker. Quote, "There's nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all," unquote. So there's no point in varnishing what my mistake was in all of this. I was being ineffective at the task to me in that particular context. So just to summarize, two learnings. First of all, if you're in a position of power, beware of this tendency for a power halo to develop, because it disenfranchises people over time by making them care less about bringing their opinion and unique skills to bear on the task in the first place. And secondly, appropriateness can be far more important than competence, or rather, I would call it the precondition for competence to even matter at all. So that's all for today. See you in a few days again with some more thoughts about productivity. Thank you very much.